Hey TMNT fans, I am the White Foot Soldier, and this is a review of the new Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Albearto figure by Playmates Toys. Now this figure is now on store shelves along with the Foot Lieutenant. If you watch my previous review, I reviewed the Foot Lieutenant, and these two are part of Wave 2 along with the Battle Shell Turtles. If we just have a look at the front of the box art, we can see Albearto, the party animal. We see he comes with a few accessories. We earn pizza points with this figure. I did get this one at Walmart. As I mentioned in the Foot Lieutenant review, I found both of these at Walmart, which have the pizza points. I saw online some people posting about not getting their pizza points in the figures, but these ones do come with them. You can see the box art at the top. Again, when you're shuffling through the shelves, you can see when it has the 4 turtles, you know that it is not a turtle itself, and it could be, Splinter or some of the bad guys or April. So it's nice to be able to have, the difference in the box art, similar to some of the previous figure lines by Playmates Toys, just kind of changes things up a little bit. We turn this around. We can see Albearto's bio here, the party animal. Though he was once a singing, birthday celebrating animatronic bear, Albearto turned into a real party animal with razor sharp metallic claws after a mishap with Donnie's tech. Now this maniacal, mechanical menace wants to start a robot revolution, and no humans are invited. He's a demented robot as the species. Weapons, metallic claws. And if we come down to the bottom, the first thing that I noticed actually when I picked this figure up, I turned it over, and Albearto was quite different in the prototype. So you could see he kind of has almost like a yellowish face and yellow arms, almost like a green arm right there too. So there were some differences as far as that goes. I mean, that's not anything, completely out of the ordinary, but I thought I would note that, he does obviously look different in the prototype for the picture. And if we can see, obviously, the basic figure villains over there, we already talked about Foot Lieutenant being out. I reviewed him recently. All the other figures in that villain lineup there are out too. The basic figures for the good guys are all out as well. And then we have the Battle Shell figures, who are basically a part of Wave 2 from my understanding, and they will be in stores soon. I have seen some of them popping up elsewhere. So I'm looking forward to checking out those guys as well. So let's break open Albearto and see what he's all about. Here is Albearto out of the package. We can see he comes with 2 accessories. Just going over, we obviously get the pizza points with this guy, so that comes with it, and we get the normal pamphlet. But the thing is, with the pamphlet, I was hoping that there were going to be some new figures in there, that are coming, but I didn't notice anything new. It's just the same basic lineup, minus actually Foot Lieutenant and Albearto. They aren't even in this pamphlet, so we don't know, what's coming, in the future, but it did come with the pamphlet. So if we look at his accessories first, something you might notice right away is this pizza slice. Now, if you were a fan of the 2012 series, you'll notice that the Mikey, I believe it was a Mikey Werewolf, came with the same pizza slice. So this is a recycled piece from that. And we also get, it's kind of like, from my understanding, I think this is like the whack-a-mole thing that you use to whack the moles with at the arcade. So that should fit in there nicely, I think, just in this hand. If I saw from the, I was gonna say if I saw on the back of the package, so that fits in there nicely. He's kind of odd shaped. I mean, I know that he's like a robot, but some of the features on him are, a little bit odd as far as how he's put together. So first of all, let's just check out the paint, and then we'll check out the articulation. So if we just look at this guy right away, I mean, he is painted nicely. I don't really notice anything again. Playmates has done a nice job as far as paint apps go with the Rise of the TMNT line. Even little details like, the little dot of paint on his kind of robotic eye. And then, we get the kind of the cool metal robotic pieces breaking through the teeth. And it looks like that's even painted up inside there. The mustache is kind of like a bluish color, actually has kind of some blue on it. His hat, I don't know if that moves around, nope. And then kind of his hair in the back there, it's painted nice. We get some different color, for like the fur, the purple fur, the metallic claws. And these do not, I was gonna say, those don't really bend too much. It's just kind of kept how it is, but the accessory does fit in there nicely. We get kind of his shirt there is colored, some bumps. I don't know how well that's showing up in the camera, but as far as the sculpt's cool. It is, like I said, kind of shaped weird, and I'll get to that in a second of some of the things that are a little bit odd. Flip him around, there's not really any reason, you know, to have anything on the back of his shirt there. That is a different color of metal there on his shoulder, so that's cool. So let's go with the articulation here. We get the ball joint in the shoulders, ball joint in the elbow, and also bends up and down. And we do actually get wrist articulation, so that's a nice addition, especially, you know, for basic figure line. Same thing on the other arm, of course. Now this is the part, well, wait a second, let me check. Yeah, this, okay. So he does get rotation in his head there, so we can do kind of some different side, you know, looks to make him look even creepier than he already is. And if we come down, this is kind of the weird little setup here. So the legs are kind of like, I don't know, they're just odd looking as far as the pegs go up in there. They do swivel around, and then they do move, you know, back and forth. But it's just kind of an odd how it's, you know, put together underneath there. They just look weird from that angle. At first I thought the legs were on the wrong sides even, but they actually aren't. So from this way it looks good, but when you turn it that way, it is kind of odd how that is connected. I don't know, is there any? No, it doesn't look like those move, but you can kind of see his pants go underneath, or over top, I mean, his boots. And it kind of makes for hard poses. Whenever I was setting this guy up, it was kind of difficult to get him to pose because the feet, as you can see, are not flat. They're kind of, you know, tilted forward. This one's kind of bent up, and it kind of makes for some awkward poses. So the one downfall about this guy is he doesn't really pose the best. And you can see right now it's even kind of difficult just to find that pose. It just has to be kind of bent forward, because if you go that, he just falls right back. And if you tilt that a little bit, I think getting closer, maybe. Yeah, see what I mean? It's just kind of like an awkward, and sometimes that's difficult. There we go, finally get him to pose there. But even if I turn him a little bit, then he just falls right down. So that's one thing that is a little disappointing about this figure. The sculpt itself is really cool. Like I said, it's just kind of awkward looking how the legs attach underneath, but I guess that really isn't that big of a point in the grand scheme of things because, you know, you're looking straight on at them. But the legs are just kind of odd how they are shaped, you know, and with making the poses. Cool character. I did see this episode. I haven't watched all the episodes yet, but I did see this episode with him in it. You know, like I said, it's a neat villain, kind of a creepy looking character even for a kid's series, so I kind of like that. You know, the two accessories are cool. This fits in with, you know, with him, you know, basically being, you know, like a birthday celebration where you think it'd be at an arcade, you know, with a whack-a-mole, and the pizza, of course. You know, what kid doesn't have pizza at his party? So he's a cool villain, and a neat sculpt. And overall, I think that Playmates did a nice job with this figure. I'm really happy that I was able to find it. And actually, before we end this, I want to say too that at Walmart, the figures are still on sale as a rollback. I think it was $7.46, which is nice. I mean, these are definitely worth $7.46. I found both Foot Lieutenant and Albearto at Walmart. I'm sure they're going to be popping up at other stores. So please leave your comments. What do you think of Albearto? Do you like him? Do you not like him? Do you think that Playmates did a nice job as far as how he looks at the TV or from the TV show? What other characters would you like to see going forward? And thank you so much for watching.